Hey guys, okay, so of course my video got cut off once again. I was talking for like another 3 minutes and none of it loaded. So, okay, I think I was getting ready to talk about my bangs, which is one of the #1 things that people ask me about. So of course I'm sorry that it got cut off. Okay, for your bangs, what I always tell people to ask for is for a deeply side-parted, full textured side swept bang. Okay, now let me break that down a little bit. I part my hair like super far over. Sometimes I'll part it a little bit in more, but a lot of times I part it this far over. Now the farther over you part it, the more dramatic of a look you're going to have. But what I do is I angle my part back. I don't know if you can see, but it's not completely straight back. If you do that, it almost just starts to look like a comb over, at least with me and what I found. So I do it a little bit angled back, and then I always have a few little short wispies on this side. So this gets pretty short, and actually this in here is just like my baby hair, where it's either new hair growing in or where it's breaking off from damage. So that's that. All right, and then by full, I mean I start really far back on my head. So this right here is probably the middle of the top of my head, and that is about where my bangs are, maybe half an inch forward or so. And yeah, now that's another thing. You want to obviously have a good consultation with your hairdresser, because if you have super thick hair and you start your bang back here and have this huge sweep of bang, it's going to look like you have a big like horsetail in the front of your head, because it's going to be so heavy. And if you have super thin hair and you take a section that big, then it's not going to look like you have any hair in the back. So, you know, you have to be careful. And my shortest piece now is probably, I would say, maybe to the middle of my nose if I pulled it straight down. Okay, actually maybe the tip of my nose. And that's how they are now. And a lot of times I'll even have them a little bit shorter than this. Like these will start a little bit shorter and go down. And they do gradually get a little bit longer as they go down my face. And when I cut them, I cut the same thing with my hair. Oh, I have a text message. Same thing with my hair, I cut into them. So it's not this super blunt line. And that way they'll kind of lay a little bit better. And if you have questions about how I get them to lay over, I'll put a link in the sidebar to my side swept bang tutorial. And yeah, so that's it. And I just have them like layered down, like my bangs layer into my hair. And yeah, oh, and I forgot to say earlier about my color. I always go lighter in my front. So my bang and all the hair, I don't know if you can see this, but all the hair around my face is very light, and then it gradually gets darker. So here, let me take it down so you can see a little bit more. And I didn't say earlier, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a shadow where people have like super dark on the bottom and super dark on the top. I guess it doesn't have to be super dark, but normally you'll see it super dark on the bottom, super dark on top. I don't have that, but I am gradually darker on the bottom, but I do have some blonde pieces in here, and then I slowly get lighter and lighter and lighter until it's like wham, and I'm really blonde in the front. So let me turn. My hair's a mess, by the way. I haven't brushed it today, so sorry. But, I mean, you can tell I'm a little bit darker on the bottom. And then when I have, like, a pony or something, I've got a little bit of dimension underneath. And if I do a messy, you know, something, whatever, something like that, where you can see part of my dark and my blonde without looking, quote-unquote, skunkish. Where you have, no offense if you have it. Well, I guess kind of, I am being offensive, but whatever. You know, like super dark, like black on the bottom, blonde on top. Fine if that's your style, but I like it to be more natural, I guess. So yeah, that is my hair. Okay, and I wasn't going to say this, but I decided I'm going to. Everyone has been asking me to do a video on how I cut my bangs. And I keep trying to avoid the comments that ask me that, because honestly, I do not feel comfortable doing that. Now I promise you I will try to like play in my head how I can do a video on it. The problem is, and I said this on my blog TV once, I do so many different techniques with my hair that there's no way that I can show you like over a computer video how I do it. And everybody's hair texture is so different. Like even though I do my bangs like this, if I have 4 people in a day that say they want my bangs, I don't cut them all the same way because everybody has a different texture of hair and different thickness, fullness, or thickness, thinness, etc. And like I don't know how to explain it, but okay, for example, like I go up and I slice down into my bang to give it texture, and I have to use like a certain amount of pressure with my hands to get the right cut, and I can't describe that on. Do you know what I'm saying? If I was with you and I could show you how much pressure I put, that would be a different story, but I can't. I can't show that over a video. So hopefully you guys can get a good enough idea from me just explaining to you how my bangs are that you can show your hairdresser how to do it. I just think like your bangs are part of the most important, if you have bangs, are part of the most important part of your hair because that's right in front. So if I show you this technique and you end up hacking this bang, then it's my fault kind of because I didn't explain it well enough. Does that make sense? Like I'm not saying you're not capable enough, but I don't know, I don't think I'm capable enough to explain it and in a strong enough way for you to be able to do it yourself. So I hope nobody gets offended by that. It's the same thing, like I'll never show you how to highlight your own hair because that's a disaster. I would never highlight my own hair. I have once and I'm never doing it again. But it's the same kind of thing, you know? So I'm sorry. And okay, this is just another thing to kind of back my point. I've watched so many how to trim your own bang tutorials on YouTube. No offense for anyone who has done them, but even though I know what I'm doing, like I've been trained to do that, if I took what I know out of my head and just watched some of these videos, there is absolutely, I would ruin my hair. And not that anybody's doing it bad or, something like that. It's just, you can't express everything that you need to do over a video, Am I making any sense? I don't even know. But I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable doing it as of now. I promise that I am, I play through my head ways that I can, try to describe it to you. I'm sorry, this piece keeps splitting and it's driving me nuts. But, a way that I can describe it to you so you guys can do it at home. But, I don't know. I'm not ready to do that yet. So I'm so sorry, but I hope you found this part of my hair explanation helpful, and I'm sorry that my first video cut off, but I gave you the rest. So, good luck. All right.